Tom Lawry is the National Director for Artificial Intelligence, Health and Life Sciences at Microsoft. It arrived without warning. No announcements preceded it. No scientific papers were presented before it came crashing into our lives. The COVID-19 pandemic was simply there, and the day before, it was not. We recognized it when our family, friends and co-workers started getting sick and dying in numbers not seen since the beginning of the last century. We all have our stories. Mine was losing my healthy 94-year-old father, from diagnosis to death in 3 days. While healthcare has always been steeped in emergency preparedness, nothing prepared it for what was to come. ICUs were overrun by critically ill patients. As COVID patients were highly infectious, treatment for other medical needs came to a grinding halt. Frontline caregivers worked around the clock. When systems were pressed to the brink, they stepped in to fix what wasn't working. Makeshift ICUs were created. Ventilators were macgyvered back into service. Doctors and nurses displayed near superpowers. In the end, they were still human. What was already a problem of clinician burnout became a new epidemic in its own right. It still is as I write this. In the world of drug discovery, the race was on. As infection rates and death tolls climbed, we woke up to the fact that getting new drugs from the lab to the pharmacy took an average of 12 years at a cost of $2.6 billion. Almost overnight, consumers became legitimately fearful of premature death en masse. COVID cut to the core of what we universally care about the most: our health, our children, our jobs and our financial security. The world was seemingly descending into darkness. Just when it felt like the bad news wouldn't end, something happened. As humans always do, we learned. We adapted. We began to prevail. People led the fight. The intelligence revolution gave them the tools to win. Early in the pandemic, health leaders discovered a body of knowledge on coronaviruses, but it was of little use as it was scattered around the world in disparate locations and formats. To solve this problem, the Allen Institute for AI, National Institute of Health, NIH, and others leveraged something known as natural language processing, NLP, to fuse together 47,000 scholarly articles and studies in a matter of weeks.